Watch this. You're going to be like so super impressed with this. This is high tech is what I'm saying.
Talk is cheap. It's overrated. My actions speak what I'm actually saying. 'Cause in the end, what you do, that's gonna hang around. I said talk is cheap. It's overrated. My actions speak what I'm actually saying. 'Cause in the end, what you do, that's gonna hang around. Well, I've seen a lot of things. Well, I've said a lot of things. Don't amount to nothing, nothing, nothing. Well, I've heard a lot of things. Well, I've seen a lot of things. Well, I've said a lot of things. Don't amount to nothing. Oh, well, I've heard a lot of things. Well, I've seen a lot of things. Well, I've said a lot of things that don't amount to nothing.
Hello and welcome to Talk is Cheap. We are at episode 133. Happy Tuesday. So glad that you're here tonight joining us. You know, I am so excited for this show tonight, you guys, because, you know, one of the perks of doing Talk is Cheap is I get to hang out with some really cool people. And tonight, I get to hang out with some really cool people. I'm so excited. I have two comedians that to me are just amazing, hilarious, uber talented, and I get to hang out with both of them, right? Is that awesome or what? It is. It's so awesome. We also get to hang out with the famous Chewy. There he is. There's Chewy. He's here, you guys. Don't worry about it. He's here. He's taking his nap because, of course, he's had his quiet moments. That's right. This is our unofficial sponsor, Quiet Moments, for when you're doing a show like Talk is Cheap and you want your dog to just be quiet. So it's working. Look, he's so happy right now. He's in snooze land and he's just chilling out and just, you know, sometimes I wish I could sleep like Chewy. I'm a little jealous. He can just sleep just like that, like my husband. They both can just fall asleep really easily, and it's kind of sickening is what it is. But anyway, all right. Well, we'll let Chewy sleep. Don't worry. But yeah, so tonight is going to be really fun, you guys. Christy Largent stopped by to tell us how to have some a super fun summer, and so she's going to give us some tips on that. Did you see Chewy's tail just wag? Is that adorable? It is. We also have Jeff Jenna is back. I love Jeff Jenna. He's so funny and hilarious. And my co-host Tom Ryan. I'm just fangirling a little bit. All right. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, this show tonight is so cool. All right. Let's see if you've stopped in. Let's see. Make some noise in the comments. There's Peter Bianco saying hello to the fellow cheapskates. That's what you guys are who are watching. You're cheapskates. Do you like that? That's the nickname that we've given you. Yeah. Tom Hoyes is here. He says, all right, what did you say? Tom Hoyes, let's see. There. Oh, nope, that's Pam Bingham. Hi, Pam. Thanks for joining us. There's Tom. Hi, everyone. Isn't technology wonderful? It is, right? Because this allows us the opportunity to get into your living rooms without breaking and entering. So you get to choose to have us in your living rooms tonight, or your car, or wherever you're at. So that's pretty stinking cool is what it is. Hey, Spring, thanks for joining us. We're glad you're here. Michelle Van Dusen, Rhonda, show us Chewy. He's right there, Michelle. Can't you see him? He's right there. All right, how about this? We'll do this. We'll do this, and then you can really see Chewy. How's that? He's not facing the camera a little bit. Tom likes it when he faces the camera. He gets really excited when he does that, but you know, can't have everything, right? All right, there we go. All right, Schuster, back in your spot. All right, you know what? We have so much to do. We are not going to waste time just talking about Chewy all night long. No, I am gonna bring up my first guest because I'm super excited about it. He has been a stand-up comic for over 30 years. He's made 2 appearances on the late night show with David Letterman, which is where I believe I first saw him. He's also been featured on Showtime, A&E, Comedy Central, and NBC. He's heard regularly on Sirius XM Radio, and now to complete all of his career goals because this is just going to bump him up so many notches. Please welcome Tom Ryan, everybody. Tom Ryan.
Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you, Rhonda.
Tom, I'm so excited to have you here. It's true. I think I first saw you on David Letterman.
Yeah.
Doing your brilliant comedy because I mean your jokes are just as a comedian, you have the jokes that we wish that we wrote, you know?
Well, that's the ultimate compliment.
Yeah. It's like, that is so good. I wish I wrote that. That's so good it is, you know? Yeah. So awesome. We showed a little clip too. You have a Dry Bar special that's out that everybody should go check out.
Dry Bar. Did that a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And the taping went well. The first taping went well. The second crowd was smaller, but they had told me between shows we got enough footage on the first one, so I was very happy. I could relax on the second taping, you know.
Yeah.
That was
it's
fun.
So weird.
That Dry Bar has taken off. I did it in the first season. Nobody knew what it was going to be. And Dry Bar has become a thing.
It's a thing.
And I was happy to be included in the first season, and it's out there. And nothing I've ever done has gotten more YouTube hits than Dry Bar clips. They really know how to promote.
Yeah.
The content. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's great video, and it's great the way they cut it up and the way they just, they get it out there. When they get it out, it takes a little while. At least it has for me. It's been a year now, so we're going on over a year. I'm waiting for mine to come out, but by then, a lot of my jokes will have morphed, if you know what I mean.
Well, that's the worst thing when you have to say goodbye to a good bit because it has the expiration date on it, and it's almost a cruel joke that was played on us. That when we went into comedy, they didn't tell us that. Oh, by the way, you're going to have to say goodbye to so many of your jokes because time, just withers them away.
Right.
And unlike old songs, musicians have it so much easier. And by the way, I have to explain my background. I have such a difficult background that I'm always trying to configure the alignment and all that. That's my window in the background. And it's just blinds. And then they have a blur feature. Kind of works. And I tried to do a virtual background and couldn't get it to go. And I have to wear my reading glasses because when I look at a screen without reading glasses, I get a headache almost instantaneously because I find myself trying to read the letters. So. But we'll be all right.
Yeah, I have contacts on. So, and my contacts are bifocal contacts. Okay.
Wow.
So, so otherwise I would have to wear glasses because I don't know, several years ago, I don't know what they did, who made the decision, but somehow people made the decision to shrink all the font on everything. I don't know who it was, but
a 12 is no longer a 12. Even on my computer, a 12 is no longer a 12. And a couple years ago, I signed up for a subscription to Rolling Stone magazine because I thought, I'll get back into reading about music. And I think it's on auto renew because they just keep showing up, and it must be coming off a credit card once a year. And it was a charitable contribution kind of thing. And I actually called them and said, can you guys do something about your font? And how non-Rolling Stone is that I reached the point where I'm complaining about the font size on Rolling Stone. It's like if you are too old to read our font, get rid of your subscription. And I might, but I can't find which credit card it's on. So I basically get the Rolling Stone, look at the cover, and recycle it.
You know what you need? You need what they have, those magnifying like page. It's a whole
Oh,
page that
really?
magnifies that, Tom.
All right.
They have
That,
those. It's
that
this
might be the answer.
newfangled device that you
Oh, and I
yes.
also had, I had their virtual subscription too, and that
Mhm.
just was so buggy. And I'll reinvestigate because they have some good stuff. It keeps me up
Yeah.
on the old music I used to listen to, but I'll have to reinvestigate.
Yeah. Well, now I notice I do this. Do you do this? When you're trying to make, like, have you done this to paper? Try to make it
Ah,
bigger. That's
only
what it's
on
like.
only on beer number 3. I've tried that a few times. When I get a little buzz. That'll yeah, right. But that is
Try
funny.
to
Uh-huh.
yeah.
You try
Yeah.
to mute people in person.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I know. Wouldn't that be? Well, we're heading to the
That would be
metaverse. Is it the metaverse? Maybe
yes,
we'll
the
get there.
metaverse. The
Yeah,
metaverse.
whatever it
Hey,
is.
Alice Green is joining us tonight. Tom, say hi to Alice.
Hello, Alice. Thank you for coming by and watching, and hope you're doing well.
She's awesome. Yep, she's welcoming you. Alice
Thank
likes to
you.
stop by on Tuesdays and just she brightens our night, really.
Isn't that
She's
nice?
wonderful.
Great.
She's
And
a
I've been
listener.
trying to get on to Talk is Cheap for years, as you know.
Yeah,
Years.
right.
I
I
mean,
know.
I've sent mailings and I've flown agents out to talk to you and try to track you down, and you've had some of your assistants get back to, and
Yeah.
it's just been, and finally after all these years,
Finally, right? You
got to
finally
Talk
hit the
is
big
Cheap.
time.
I have hit it.
You're
I
just
love it. I
oh
actually
my
like doing
gosh.
these things. It's fun. You kind of, during the day you start building up, like, all right, I got to do this interview tonight, and you don't have to leave your place, so
Isn't
it's
it
nice.
kind of cool,
And then
right?
and you get a little bit of nervous energy going beforehand, and then always afterwards you go, hey, that was fun, I'll do
Yeah.
more of these, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I still do too. Like before the show. Now we're at show
that's
133.
that's
I'm
impressive.
like, isn't that awesome? We're going into our second year. I started the
All
show
right.
during the pandemic, and now I still get like,
Of
oh,
course.
and making sure that everything's set because it's live. Just like
Oh, I mean,
just like a
much
live.
like our doing comedy, I've been doing this now since my first open mic, and I can't believe this. My first open mic was 36 years ago.
Wow, that's
And I
incredible.
still, to this day, even if the crowd is, let's say, 20 people in the crowd,
Hmm.
I get full blown nerves before every single show, no matter what the venue, no matter what the show. And I finally accepted about 10. I thought, oh, at some point, all that's going to go away. Because you know
Yeah.
how when comics say, oh, I have to be up on that stage, that's my oxygen. I'm not one of those comics. I I enjoyed doing it and writing the material and getting credit for the material. But
Hmm.
leading up to the show, a lot of anxiety. And yet, once you accept the fact that that's going to be there every single
Yeah.
time, it at least you trust the mechanism that causes it to go away as soon as you hit the stage. I don't know what that is, but
Isn't that
I would
amazing?
love to be one of those people that can just walk on like and not even. I've seen people like eating right before they go on. I can't eat after 4 o'clock in the afternoon because I
Me
have no appetite.
neither.
No
I
appetite.
can't. I
No.
can't eat. There's been like a couple of times, and I work with these guys, and they're like eating, and they're
Yeah.
like going on in like 5 minutes. I'm like, I don't know how you do that. I
I,
couldn't do it.
I did a show the other night and there was a guy in the green room. They had got us meals, and I of course said, all right, put mine aside, I'll eat it after the show. This guy, he starts eating about 6 minutes before he's to go on. Then he realizes the MC, who he knows very well, has now decided to go into one of his longer bits. So he goes,
Hmm.
I still have time. And he goes back over to his container and he's eating right up until the time he was introduced. And then
Yeah.
just no problem at all. It's like, wow,
I can't.
I'm
Let me
envious.
ask you this. Are you so after the show, are you ravenous?
Yes.
Yes.
My appetite kicks in beyond belief after every show. And it's the weirdest thing. Suddenly, everything after a show tastes so good.
Right?
It's great.
Yeah,
And
I'm the
sometimes
same
it's
way.
like I'll tell myself right before a show, it's like sometimes you know how you're like we're not always in the mood to go on. You have to go on because
Right.
it's on the schedule. And
Right.
sometimes I'll get through the leading up to a show, I'll just go, you're going to have the best meal after this show, and that's going to be in about an hour. And then just cling to that and you'll be fine. And then you get out there and you have a good time and all that.
Right.
Most times. Not always, as we know, comedy can be
Sometimes, yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Sometimes you never know what it's going to be like, right?
Yeah.
You just never know what it's
Never
going to
know.
be like. No, it's
No.
sometimes it surprises you, right? You think like, oh, I don't
Pleasant
know about
surprise.
this audience, and I don't know, and then they love what you
It,
have, and then
it's
sometimes they just like they hate
it's
it.
amazing. Some of the best pleasant surprises of my comedy career in the club days when I did a lot of road clubs was when a Friday Night Late Show turns out to be a great audience. Because as we all know, they can be the toughest crowds for most of us. Some comics thrive on the Friday Night Late Show audience. I'm not one of them. But every now and then, and you'll hear you can almost read the crowd from backstage going, oh no, they're very drunk, they're very rowdy, and this could get ugly kind of a thing. We've seen that happen enough times on a Friday Late Show. And then when you walk out into that environment and they go nuts for you and they turn out to be the most incredible crowd, that's exhilarating over the years when you go in with low expectations and it exceeds. And the opposite can happen too. I had one of those just a couple nights ago. That's a whole other story. I went in with high expectations and it didn't, not even close to what I was expecting. And then I went into a mini funk that I'm just coming out of.
It's so hard afterwards because
Yeah.
I don't want to say I sit there and beat myself up. I try to be positive and I did my best and the whole 9 yards, but I'm very tough on myself because I have extremely high expectations of myself.
Right.
And it's always my fault. I don't want to blame the audience sometimes.
Yeah. No, you can't.
Yeah. But it's I'm always like, what could have I done that would have been better? How what was it? I don't know. Hey, what? What we're gonna do now is I am going to bring up Christy. Christy Largent stopped by. And she stopped by with me to tell me how to have a great, fun summer. And so she stopped by. We're going to put her up. And so we're going to go on a little bit of break and we're going to listen to the interview that I had with Christy. And then I'm going to bring you back. How's that sound?
You got it.
All right. Okay, Alex.
Yay! Hi, Rhonda.
Christy, we're so glad you're here. Thanks for stopping by. I'm so excited. So you're going to be telling us how to have the best summer ever.
Yes.
Do that.
It's not too early. I mean, Memorial Day is coming around the corner, right? And my daughter just graduated from high school and my son has his finals this week. I mean, summer's here, right? And
busy.
Well, the reason when you asked me to do something on something that would be helpful, I'm like, oh my gosh, I am right in the middle of this. Oh, my 18 summers with her are over and I only have 3 left with my son. And how did that happen? Right. And I'm like, well, I have some ideas to make this summer really the best one ever. How does that sound?
That sounds amazing. It sounds absolutely amazing.
Okay. Well, in typical fashion, I'm going to give you 3 points and hopefully we'll be able to remember them. The first point to make this your best summer ever is number 1, you have got to be intentional.
Okay, be intentional.
Yes, I love how you put that up there so perfectly. Be intentional. So often, do you find you get like on autopilot with, I mean, it could be everything from brushing your teeth, washing your face, like stopping to get gas. We just get on autopilot, and before we know it, the days are gone.
Yeah.
And we're like, wait a minute, I really wanted to do whatever, right? So there's,
Right.
I think, 3 areas that we have to be intentional. You're going to be intentional with your time, you're going to be intentional with your resources, and your attention. So time, attention, and resource. So I want to be intentional with my time. Weekends come fast and fierce in the summer, especially. I want to be intentional. What am I going to do with my time on this Saturday? Am I just going to sleep in until 10 o'clock? Maybe. Or maybe I'm going to get up and go for a hike early on Saturday morning. I want to be intentional about it. Both of those are good. It's just if you do it without some intentionality, then you're sort of, it's like that old saying, if you don't have if you don't have a goal for your life, you'll spend your life supporting other people's goals.
Yep.
Right? Somebody will do it for you.
Right.
And so we really have to be aware of the importance of being intentional with our time, our attention. What are you coming home and turning on the TV every night without thinking, or are you getting on your phone and scrolling mindlessly? What are you doing with your intention? Are you doing both at the same time? Right? Or we're going to just turn it on and see. I just think we get so stuck, and it's just habit, right?
Yes. Right.
It's just habit. So we want to be intentional with our attention. Be aware of what you're doing with your time. In the summer, instead of just maybe looking at social media or turning on the TV, go outside and go swimming or go for a walk or do something that you normally would not do in the winter, but do it kind of intentionally in the summer with your attention. And then finally, your resources. You have to be intentional with your resources. Are you saving money for something? This economy, oh my gosh, almost $5 a gallon for gas.
Oh my word. No kidding.
Like, are you kidding me? So I better be intentional with my resources. So I'm not just frittering away my money at Starbucks, or if I have any left after filling up my car.
Right. Right.
So I think the way that we really make it good is by being intentional. Okay. So that's number 1. You have any questions on that?
No. So what I'm hearing you say, if I'm correct, is, you have to know ahead of time. You have to kind of have something in mind ahead of time before you go and jump into your usual whatever, turning on the TV. So maybe instead of turning on the TV, I'm going to do this. Exactly.
And that leads exactly into point number 2, which is make a plan for fun.
Aha.
Well, here's the thing. Yes, many of us make plans. We schedule our vacation. So we know that like the 3rd week of July, we're leaving for a week or whatever.
Right.
But how many of us make a plan for fun? Something besides your vacation, like go visit a local museum, play hooky in the afternoon, and go watch a movie by yourself. What is fun to you?
Right.
Are you going to meet your friend for lunch? Right? That would be super fun, and that would fill up your tank. And, you want to make a plan for it. You're going to say, okay, every Thursday, I'm going to do this, or make it easy for yourself. If you love to plan, then you could write them down on your calendar. If you're kind of a fly by the seat of your pants person, I'm just still going to encourage you to say, all right, well, I don't know what day this month, but I am going to take in maybe the 2nd week of the month, I'm going to do something kind of fun just for me. Right? How many times does a festival come to your town and you don't even go? You're like, I should do that. Well, this is the summer to do it. Right?
Yeah. Then there was something that you mentioned, like, we will go to another state and we will be a tourist there, but we don't do touristy things in our own state a lot of times, unless
Right.
maybe someone comes to visit us, right?
Right.
Then we'll take
right.
them to the sites, but usually we never go and do that. And it's a lot of fun. We're missing out on things that are right in our backyard. So that's
Well,
a
and they
great
don't have
idea.
to, exactly, Rhonda. They don't have to cost a lot of money. They don't take a lot of effort.
Right.
But the key thing is that you plan it, right? Otherwise,
Right.
you're going to get to August 31st and 31. Yeah, 30. And we're going to be like, wait a minute. I wanted to do da-da-da. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then finally, the point number 3 is take care of yourself. So by that, you may want to sleep till 10. You may want to turn your alarm off and not have it for a day to get some restorative sleep. You may want to book an appointment for a pedicure or a massage, right? You, instead of just grabbing a cookie, cut yourself some fruit. Be generous with yourself. Do things for yourself that make you feel good, that make your body feel good.
Yeah.
I mean, I think sometimes we're kind of oblivious to what's really going on because we're just so busy. We're so full of responsibilities.
Right.
Right. And so
yeah.
How am I feeling? How does this food make me feel? Like if I just grab the bag of chips, do I feel good after I've eaten it or do I feel horrible? I mean, not that
Have you been in my house lately?
do we know any people who do that? We've heard about people who do that.
I've heard, yes, I have heard a few people. They have the same name as me. Yeah, that's true.
I know. Yeah, that's why I'm saying this summer, I'm like, gosh, I really want to just be intentional with this. I want to plan out some really good things that'll be more beneficial than just letting the time pass. And then thirdly, I really want to make sure that I am taking care of myself because especially as we get, if you're over 40, you may be feeling things now that you didn't feel before and maybe not in a good way.
That's true.
Yeah. So, and one other thought on that is, what about doing something that gets you out of your comfort zone, which initially feels bad, but at the end it feels good? I have a feeling some of our viewers would love to do stand up, but they're like, oh, I can never do it. I'm putting it off. Okay, this is the summer. Go take a class. Or, reach out to Rhonda for some ideas, do stand up. And then by the end of the summer, you will have accomplished that. Or maybe you want to play in a community band, or maybe you want to have your art put in a juried show. Maybe you want to do a pickleball tournament.
I know you love pickleball. Those are great ideas. Yeah. I mean, and that's just it. We don't want to get to the end of the summer and the summer's passed you by. You haven't met with your friends. You haven't done the things and that you wanted to do or schedule. You have to plan ahead of time and maybe have a loose plan, but at least have a plan. And be intentional, make a plan and take care of yourself. These are great ideas. Christy, you always come and you help us. You lift me up. You lift up our audience. I thank you so much. You're awesome. You guys, you need to follow Christy so you can find her at ChristyLargent.com. And she's Christy Largent on all social media. You're speaking, you're out there. If anybody wants to hire a speaker right now, right? That's what you're doing. You're out there speaking and helping women and helping not just women.
Our culture wants to divide us. And what I'm giving and what I'm teaching is some skills to unite us. Because I think there are so many things out of our control today, but there are a lot of things that actually are in our control that we can do to make our lives better, make our communities better. And that's what I'm teaching, is helping people really, instead of being more divisive, we're more united. And I think that's a benefit for everybody.
I agree. Christy, thank you so much for joining us. Of course, we're going to have you back.
Yay.
All right, everybody.
My pleasure. Thank you. Okay, bye-bye.
Wasn't that great? That was awesome.
Yes, it was. Reminds me, she was mentioning people coming in from out of town, which happens a lot when you're in New York. And my go-to places are take people to the Metropolitan Museum of Art and the Museum of Modern Art. And then sometimes I think I should just go there myself and a million other museums too, or a million other things to do, like walking across the Brooklyn Bridge. My brother and his wife were here about a month ago. We did that. First time they ever did it. Every time I've done it, it's when somebody's here from out of town. And I go, why don't I just do that on my own?
I know, and you're in the big tourist state
Yeah.
yourself, right?
There's a million things I still haven't done in New York, and I've been living here 16 years.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
I know. Hey, let's bring up somebody we're both very familiar with and I'm so excited about. He's been performing since 1978. He's been on Comics Unleashed, The Dennis Miller Show, Comedy Central, HBO. He's one of the most requested and played comedy artists on Sirius XM. His Dry Bar special, that is fabulous, by the way. You're not an adult at 18 has been out and getting a lot of hits. And if you haven't seen it, what are you waiting for? And he's back because we just love him. Please welcome back Jeff Jenna. Yay!
No, really, no, please, no, please, that's enough. How are you? How is everybody? What's going on there?
Hello,
Great
Jeffrey.
to be here. Tom Ryan, how
are you, my
one
friend?
of my favorite comics. I am great. I am doing absolutely
good.
fantastic.
You as well, my friend.
And I miss seeing you. I know you love New York.
Yeah.
And I tried to tell you this the other day.
Yeah.
For what you pay for that roach-infested apartment you live in. You could live in a palace. You could live in a palace here.
I know.
In the Midwest. You could live. You could live like a king.
Like a king.
And in a castle. It's fantastic.
You know what I really do enjoy about this city, despite. You know what I've gotten used to in the 16 years of living here?
The smell of urine.
Which there's been a slight uptick in that, by the way. They could do an analysis of that, and that would be could be a leading economic indicator. The not owning a car is nice, and you know what was strange? A couple months, about 4 months ago, I had a gig in Florida, and because of all the lockdown and everything like that, I fly into Florida, rent a car, and as I'm getting it, it dawns on me, because of the quarantine, I thought, I haven't driven a car in 2.5 years.
Wow.
And it was very strange. It took about 5 minutes for that rust to clear out, and it was a little bit nerve-wracking. It was a very strange experience to go, wait a minute, what? Okay, pull off, use the right foot. It was very strange. There was 2.5 years of heavy rust. And then it was right back in the groove,
right?
Weaving and bobbing like the rest of the Floridians.
It's like riding a bike.
It's very similar. Very similar.
Oh my God.
So, and Jeffrey and I have worked together on the road. We hit a streak in there for many, about a 5-year period where we did a lot in San Antonio, a lot in Austin,
right?
And I think a few gigs in Florida, and then many gigs when I moved to California. We did a lot of gigs at the
Improv
and the regular Improv together. Yeah.
Right.
It was always great hanging out. You have some great material, and always have.
And I still have it, because I haven't written the joke in 14 years. I just like
Well, we were talking about that earlier, how it's so sad when they just fall off the shelf when time destroys.
You know what? I'm never giving up my Watergate bit. It's timeless.
Yeah.
Timeless. I'm telling you.
Salad shooter. I mean, to kiss goodbye, the salad shooter bit is very tragic. I had to give up my rotary phone bit a few years ago, and that was one of the strongest bits. And I'm going, I just can't do it anymore. Yeah. And yet, when I did Dry Bar, I talked myself into saying, well, just comment going into the bit about how dated the rotary phone is, and that'll maybe. And I wanted to do the bit anyway. And now I look back at that and go, how did I green that, like the rotary phone bit for that Dry Bar special? I cringe with the thought that it's out there floating around on the internet.
But yeah, see,
okay.
I did a couple bits in my special too that were like, my rationale was this. This is the swan song. I'm gonna get him down on tape and say goodbye to him. You know,
there you go. That's a good idea. That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, but
get them archived. Yeah,
but they're there forever now. You know,
you're right.
They're out there in the ether forever. And although I don't do them anymore on stage, you know,
right. And eventually, all of our material, 99% of everybody's material is going to be obsolete anyway.
Right.
So you might as well put it in the can. And at some point it goes from being obsolete to being kind of cool and historic.
Right. And it's a lot like my wardrobe. A lot of it has come back.
Right.
That's true.
Well, yeah,
that's true. I'll tell you what's come back that's not good. Crop tops have come back. Okay. Crop tops have come back.
You know,
I'm going to tell you something. That's the part that I've been trying to hide. The part that they like, this isn't good news.
You know, I gotta be honest with you, Rhonda. I have never quit wearing them.
I figured that.
He's only. That's why the camera goes so.
It only goes down to here. In fact, I'm wearing a crop top right now.
Crop top. And by the way, I was going to mention for example, I have old comedy albums, and I'll occasionally throw one on just to hear, well, how dated is this, and what does this? Robert Klein, you mentioned earlier Watergate material. He had the best Watergate material, and also a bit about it when they interviewed a guy in the Watergate hearings. They introduced him by going, and he is also a member of the Accountants Hall of Fame. And Robert Klein pauses and goes, the Accountants Hall of Fame. And then he did a whole bit on the Accountants Hall of Fame. And it was great, and it holds up. So even though it was in the context of Watergate, the Accountants Hall of Fame bit completely holds up. It's great.
And he had the great bit, speaking of Robert Klein, he had the great bit, which is so dated now, about the Hager suit. I don't know if you remember that, but and let me give you a little historical context for our readers who are under the age of 300. There was a line of clothing that was not greatest clothing called Hager suits, and they advertised it as you could buy one Hager suit, you have 2 pair of pants, a vest, and a jacket, and it would make 8,000 combinations you could wear. And Robert Klein had that brilliant bit about wear the vest and nothing else. That's number 17.
That's great.
So
I had forgotten about what a reference. Hager suits. Wow.
That's funny. Hey, so Peter wants to know what your salad shooter joke is. Can you tell us it?
I can't even remember if I had a joke. It was just mocking the infomercial of the salad shooter. And every other comic in the late 80s, early 90s had salad shooter jokes. I can't even remember how mine went, but what the infomercials were just the best. So yeah, I can't remember the joke.
They were very ubiquitous, almost as ubiquitous as the McNugget joke.
Yes.
You know, every comic at a certain time had their McNugget bit, you know. Yeah. And there are all those kind of tropes that come and go in comedy, you know. So
I remember I thought I was very ahead of the curve, and I hadn't seen anyone else do it when the Crocodile Hunter was big.
Yeah.
Oh, Tom, you had the most brilliant Crocodile Hunter.
Well, what's that? No,
your Crocodile Hunter bit was brilliant.
But I was so happy to have a new 3 minutes, and then all of a sudden, people, hey, so-and-so's doing the crocodile, so-and-so, so-and-so. And then it just went everywhere. And I go, that's another 3 minutes I got to say goodbye to. And it was working so well. And it's still out there floating on the internet.
Yeah.
So, who cares?
Yep.
Let it float. It's out there. Because, again, somebody will see that in 100 years from now and go, hey, that's a pretty good Australian accent he did. If nothing else.
And here's the other thing. In 100 years or whatever, however many years, people won't know that it was a kind of a stock premise.
Yeah, that's right.
And they'll just go, wow, that guy, Tom Ryan, he was talking about everything.
Yeah, everything. He was doing all kinds of comedy for other continents to enjoy, you know? That's right.
Oh my gosh.
The
All right. So you guys, you know what we do here on this show, right? You know what time it is.
right.
Alex, it's time. That's right. I have the fancy little promos to You've Got Game. And today's game is called Don't Touch That Dial. That's right. We're going to be playing games. This is where I pit my guests against each other. And of course, yes. And of course, we keep score here. You know, we're not like the modern day you guys are ready. Yeah, you guys are ready. We're not like the modern day where they don't keep score and we play games. We keep score here.
Oh, no.
And the way that we do that is we have an official scorekeeper. That's my old girl.
That's great.
Oh my gosh. Meet the scorekeeper, everybody. All right. Big hand. Big hand for the scorekeeper.
Dial me. Rotary. That's quick. Well done.
So you are going to be competing for the very, very coveted prize, the Rhonda Corey Comedy Hand Sanitizer, 100% clean comedy, 100% clean and sanitized hands. That's right. This prize is valued at $5,500 because we overprice everything here on Talk It's Cheap. Okay. So what we're going to be doing today is we are going to be looking at some of the classic TV shows. And all you have to do, we're going to throw up a picture, and all you have to do is write down the name of the show. That's it.
I've got it. I've got it.
All right. Okay.
By the way, before you get into the game, I'm just going to warn Tom. I am incredibly competitive, Tom.
Yeah.
I went to the cardiologist today. And my resting heart rate was 64, and he said, "Pretty good." I go, "I can do better."
That's great.
And I got it down to 62.
All right. That's competitive.
That's competitive.
And it's hard to be competitive and lower your heart rate. That's rare, a very rare skill.
That's an amazing skill. What do you get when you put chocolate pudding in your mother's shoes?
Grounded.
Give up? Yes. You get a spanking. Wonk, wonk, wonk. Okay, wonk, wonk. Okay. All right. That is not my joke writer, by the way. That is my scorekeeper. That joke did until
there you go.
God. All right, Alex, let's bring up our first TV cast. Oh my gosh, loved the show. It was so corny. I miss these kinds of shows.
I have to pick up my. Oh, okay. I see who it is.
You'll never get this one, Jeffrey. No way.
No, I've got.
You will never get this one. I'm up 1-0 already. That's my favorite show of all time, by the way, and I'm not kidding.
Was it?
Yeah, it was. There were years in there. My favorite show of all time.
All right, ready, Alex? Okay, we're going to bring them back. And all right, hold up your answers. Gilligan's Island, what do you have, Tom?
The camera? I can't. I'm just doing it.
Let's see. What do you have? I can't see it.
Anyway, I had
Gilligan's. You could actually type your answer in.
Okay. That's what I'll do.
You can type it in next time. He just can't because he's on his phone.
Gilligan's Island.
Watergate.
She's throwing curveballs at us, man.
All right.
I know. So, did you have down Gilligan's Island, Tom?
Yes.
You must have.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Did you get frustrated because they never they would always do something stupid so they couldn't get off the island?
Mm-hmm.
It just
They had to go
annoying
to
me.
season 3.
Yeah.
They should have ended it when they knew it got canceled. I guess it's like Charlie Brown never did get to kick the football, but they should have at least. And I know they years later got them off the island, but it
Right.
would have been cool to wrap up the series with them getting off the island.
I
Yeah.
agree.
I don't
Right.
think at that time they had that kind of sense that you had to bring closure to
Closure.
this. And I was like, the show's over. Let's go.
That's right.
You know?
The finale.
Like whatever happened to the farm on Green Acres?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
Green
know?
Acres. I should have
But
wrote that down.
my favorite episode, by the way, was the radioactive vegetables episode.
Oh my gosh! Right.
The best. Gilligan ate a lot of spinach, so he had superpower. He could
That
lift
was fun.
1,000 pounds. Yeah.
Pam said it was Gilligan's Island. So did Peter. So did Tom. So did Alice. So did Spring. All right, you guys. My audience always plays along.
It's
And,
a 17-way tie out of the gate.
So it's a tie. Yes, right out of the gate. All right, Alex. Let's bring up the next one. He's working on it. Oh, this was my favorite. This was my favorite show. And this is so small.
I am. It's
I can't quite see that.
Oh, look, I can. Oh, I see it now. I see it now.
I know it's small. It's small.
Oh,
I have a magnifying glass here. I think I know what it is.
Oh, wow. This is way into it.
There it is.
Oh, yeah.
One of my favorites, too.
Oh, I loved this show.
In
so much.
Philadelphia, we had something called I grew up in the Philadelphia suburbs. We had a show called the Wee Willie Weber After School Cartoon Hour, or whatever it was called. And he played all those old shows as reruns. And we'd just come home from school and watch Gilligan, and then this.
And then this one.
And a bunch of others. And after a while, you get to memorize the strips.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what my favorite one was after. See if you have a favorite. Okay, Alex. You can disperse of that. All right. What do you have, Tom?
Bewitched.
Bewitched. What do you have, Jeff? You have Bewitched.
Got it.
All right. And what did our audience say? Bewitched. Dallas. No.
Dallas. All right.
Bewitched is the correct answer. Oh my gosh. All right. Do you remember the one where Tabitha turned herself into a raisin cookie?
No. Nope. Do not remember that one.
That just made me laugh. Like the raisin cookie, then they showed it smiling. It was just like
missed that one.
And Gladys, I mean, that show was just
Mrs. Kravitz.
Gladys Kravitz.
That's right. And
Gladys
the second
Kravitz.
Darren was so much more mellow and less combative than the first.
Oh yeah,
one.
Dick
Like,
Sargent, right?
They didn't even try for continuity. They just said, "No, we're going with a completely different character."
Yeah,
and
Dick York,
not a peep
Dick
about
Sargent.
it. Don't even mention it. Nobody's going to complain.
No. I was so young, I didn't even know. I don't think I knew the difference back then.
And Andorra, the mother-in-law. Andorra. Yeah.
Now, Tom, you may know this, Rhonda or Tom. Why did they switch Darren's? What?
Contract issues?
No, didn't he pass away?
That was years later.
Yeah.
Really?
I don't,
Dick York?
Yeah, Dick York. That was not. I don't know why.
Yeah. I think he actually invented the peppermint patty. Pretty sure.
I get the
sensation.
That could be.
That'll become an urban legend before you know it.
Yeah. And you heard it here on this show, and now your rumors have started.
Yeah,
that's great.
Right.
Extra points for all this trivia. Oh my goodness, that's too funny. Oh, I love that show so much. All right, let's bring up the next one. Ready? Another favorite. Look, she has a crop top on. That was very controversial back in the day.
Very much so.
She showed
not to me.
I think that I could say Barbara Eden, because it's not going to tell you the name of the show,
No.
was one of the most beautiful women out there. I mean, she's just gorgeous.
Amazing.
Just absolutely. And
I think she's still around. I think
she
she
is,
might
and she
be.
still looks good.
Yeah, she is in her late 80s, and you know, it's funny because Barbara Eden, one of the other shows, I ran into her at a supermarket at about 1 a.m. one time in New York. Not her, but Barbara Feldon from another
Barbara
show.
Feldon!
We won't mention it.
99. 99.
I couldn't believe it, and it was just wow. There's
It's like, oh, Max.
and then and then 2 months later saw her again. So
No
I had
way.
2 celebrity sightings, and they were both Barbara Feldon.
Well,
Wow.
I'm gonna do that comic thing to you, Tom. I'm gonna one up you.
Yeah, cool.
When I had first moved to California, back in the early 80s, I stood in line at the DMV with Larry Storch.
You're kidding.
Oh.
You topped it.
Quite true.
You can't top that.
No.
Hey,
So-
that show might be coming up too on our
Yeah, well,
on our list.
It could be.
That's great.
It's not, but it could be.
Everybody has to go to the DMV. That's right. They can't escape.
That's true.
That's
Mhm.
it's the great, it's the only thing in life I've found that's actually equal. Two things: the DMV and the baggage claim at the airport.
Yeah.
These are the only things where we all
Yes.
stand equal. We
All
all are
stand
treated equally horribly by the service that we
Well,
get.
Exactly.
I saw
Exactly.
Danny Glover in Detroit. Danny Glover at baggage claim in Detroit, and I just nodded over to him. He nodded at me, and it
Like,
was one of those
Danny?
nods. I want to
Yeah.
acknowledge you, but I'm not going to bother you. And
Right. Yeah.
Very
Exactly.
nice, Mr. Ryan.
he gave me the nod of as if to say, "Thank you for not
Thank-
bothering me." And yes,
Right.
I am.
All
Who you think I am?
right. What's your
Very
answer on this one, you guys? What do we have?
I typed mine in.
Oh, where are you typing? I bet you're typing them in the private chat. Yeah.
Oh, is that right?
You
Okay.
did type it in I Dream of Jeannie, and you both have it.
Yeah.
So
I'll do
okay.
like a dramatic, like
Yeah.
turn to reveal, like one of those.
I'm on. My camera won't pick it up,
That's
but trust me.
yeah, that's okay. We got you.
Forensically,
You're no
people 100
problem.
years from now
I
will
did
go,
look
"No,
in
he
the
got it.
private
He
chat.
got it."
He did write I Dream of Jeannie, and who
Yeah.
else did here? Let's see on my let's see. Oh, why can't I scroll here? I'm not having
To me, this is kind of like a game of golf. I rely on Tom's honor as a gentleman.
There you go.
Well, I know
Give
if
the
you look in the private chat, if you look in the private
Oh, I
chat,
don't. I don't
Oh.
have to.
he
It's
did,
Tom
he
Ryan.
did type it in there.
That's
Do you
right.
know how to
Come
type
on.
your answer?
Trustworthy.
Tom,
What's
do you
that?
know how to type your answer in on the screen? If you see your picture down at the bottom with
Yeah.
the 3 dots in the microphone,
Mhm.
and you click on the 3 dots and it says edit name, you can actually type your answer in right there. But the reason Jeff can't is because he had to use his phone today. But it's fine because your picture looks amazing and we hear you just fine.
That
So
close enough?
yes, there you go. Tom Ryan dreams of Jeannie. Oh my gosh.
That's good enough.
And her sister, I could talk about these shows forever. They are my favorite. All right, let's bring up the next one, odds. Alex. Sorry. I have little nicknames. All right. You hide the names too. Okay. Oh my goodness. The Clampets. There's Ellie Mae and Jethro. And what was her name?
Oh, they're great.
Irene Ryan.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
And
what was the secretary's name?
I think that she might be another Barbara.
Right. I can't remember.
Let me think of her
Max
real name.
Baer was Jethro.
And
Buddy Epson.
I'll throw down some heavy trivia. Max Baer's father, Max Baer Sr., world heavyweight boxing champion.
Really?
Huh.
Yes.
Wow. That's great.
The Beverly
Those are some
Hillbillies.
great
Who
shows.
just got that? Yes. These are classics, you guys. Tom has it. So does Pam. So does
Miss
Peter.
Hathaway. That's right. Hathaway.
Nancy, that's
Yeah.
a Hathaway. That's right. Nancy Culp.
Nancy Culp. Nancy Culp.
Good
That's-
job, Alice. Beverly
That's
Hillbillies.
exactly right. Nancy Culp was her name.
And
Oh my
Mr.
gosh, they were
Drysdale.
so funny. Granny, just some of the stuff that they
Yeah.
used to do.
Here's another
Oh.
thing. Irene Ryan, if you go back and look at her film days, was quite an attractive young woman and played
Nice.
the romantic lead in many movies.
Wow.
Hmm.
I remember as a kid going, I can't believe somebody has the last name of Ryan. I just thought that's amazing. Somebody else has the same last name as me. That was one of the earliest times I ever realized, wow, other people have the last name Ryan.
I never had that problem.
No, that's right. It was strange. And then it became a thing. Oh,
Right.
it's a common name. Okay, got it. But then I
Yeah.
remember as a little kid, the first time I
James.
saw a Thomas
You're right.
Ryan in the phone book, I couldn't believe there were other Thomas Ryans out there. It
Yeah.
just blew my mind. And then
That
years
didn't
later,
happen to me. I have my maiden name is Arenberg, so
there you go. Yep, that's right.
there wasn't any.
Uh-huh.
If you Google Jeffrey Jenna, there's
Yeah.
only one.
Are you kidding me?
Only one.
Is your name shortened?
Wow.
Huh?
Is
I've-
it
well-
a shortened name?
No. As a very young child, I copywrote my name. And it's illegal for anybody else to have my name. It's a
Really?
little known fact.
That's amazing. That's right.
You kidding? You
Yeah,
are kidding. You
I
can't.
fell for it. I
That.
fell for it.
Look, we're falling for it. We're like, how much for that Brooklyn Bridge? How much now?
Great.
So, yeah, no, that's it. But if I am the
That's wild.
Jeffrey Jenna in the United States of America, anyway.
That's
As far
great.
as I can
Wow.
find out.
There's only
There's-
one.
There's,
Jeffrey.
there's other Rhonda Corey's, the dentist, that, and I think a real estate agent.
Okay.
You know, I used to go to Ron Corey, the dentist.
Yeah.
No, I made that up.
Right in here.
I have
You did not. That's
The name of-
hysterical. All right, let's pick up another one, Alex.
Yeah.
Let's see if you know who the cast is.
Oh, I
for-
got that one. I got
Da-na-na-na-na-na-na.
Right, the foot tapping.
Yep. The wingtips tapping. I remember that.
Yeah, yeah. Me too. Oh, I loved this show too.
Save these kids. Everybody had an Uncle Charlie impression.
Uncle Charlie. Uncle Charlie. That was a great show. All right. Oh, you
my
ready?
answers. I'll let you.
All right, let's bring them up.
Ernie, Rob.
Bring them up. Okay.
No, Ernie. No. Ernie came later
Yeah.
That's right.
when
It used to be Mike.
it was Rob and Chip. And then Mike
Mike-
aged out of the show.
Yes, and they brought. That was another.
Brought in Ernie.
That's right.
Peter Bianco said
forgot
my
about
three
that.
sons. Tom, Pam, Alice. Oh my gosh, that was a great show. So I
Yep.
miss those
No.
kinds of shows.
Fred Beck.
Excuse me.
Rob, now I think you should really talk to Ernie about his troubles. Rob. Ernie, I don't think you're gonna. Rob, he was so matter of fact and wholesome. Rob,
Now I'll throw a little behind the
Yep.
camera trivia in here too. Fred McMurray had been a huge movie star.
Yep.
Starred in the original The Postman Only Rings Twice.
Okay.
And hated that he was best known for being on that show.
Yeah, right. A lot of people ended up hating how successful their sitcom career.
Right.
Louise, Tina Louise,
Yes, she was typecast, right?
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, so we have a tie score there.
Oh, yeah.
Scorekeeper, is that what you're saying?
We got it.
Correct. All right, let's bring up another one. Let's bring up one more. Oh, this show was so like all these shows are so good. Let me see this one. Oh, this show was
Now, this could be
amazing, and the
tricky.
cast,
This could be
the
tricky.
cast. Yeah, it could be tricky.
This one might stump me, but I'll go with it.
Okay. Okay. Are you ready? All right. What do we have?
Mary Tyler Moore.
Mary Tyler Moore show. Mary Tyler Moore show. Yes.
And what was
Mary
the
Tyler.
next? What was the spinoff? Was
Lou Grant.
Lou
Lou
Grant?
Grant.
Okay, yeah.
It was weird because Lou Grant, a spinoff from a sitcom, was very dramatic, serious
That's
show
right. That's right.
set in a newsroom.
That's right.
But
That's
Yeah.
right.
And I briefly kind of forgot that. That's right. It was called the Mary Tyler Moore Show. Yeah.
Right. The Mary Tyler.
And
Moore
in
Show.
fact, recently I was performing in Minneapolis and there's a Mary Tyler Moore statue in Minneapolis.
Wow.
With the hat,
doing
right?
Yep.
Ah,
Yep.
that's great.
Just throw that
Look
salad
at that
around.
salad.
Oh my god, that show was so, I loved it. And Rhoda was the spinoff.
Rhoda was the spinoff of that.
Hey, Maya. Maya.
Mia. Hey Mia.
Maya.
Mia and Ro.
Ted Baxter.
And then and Georgette
And Phyllis.
And Phyllis. Phyllis was the spinoff too. Phyllis had a show.
That's right.
And I think
It was like Oprah. Phyllis gets a show, and
Yeah,
Rhoda gets
yeah.
a show, and
you get a
everybody
show,
gets
you
a
get a show, you get a show. Yeah, really. That had a ton of spin-offs.
Yeah, it did. Probably more than anything else.
Really, if you think about it. I don't know if there's anything else that had that many spin-offs.
No, that's right.
This show good until
They loved it.
2022. Oh my gosh. All right. Oh my gosh. All right. Should we do just one more? We're going a little over time. Do you guys care? We'll do one more.
Yeah, big. I have one more. The
One more.
tiebreaker.
One more. This one. This was, my husband loves this show and still watches the reruns of the show.
I have not seen it in years, but it was
I saw
perfect.
it the other day
And
because
perfect
my husband
casting.
loves this show.
Perfect casting in the show and perfect
Perfect.
casting in the movie.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh,
Yes. You're right.
Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon.
Yeah.
And
Jack Lemmon.
later, there was an all African American version with
That's right.
the guy from Barney Miller, whose name will not come to me,
Reed?
Oh yeah.
Reed? Tim Reed?
and Tim Reed, I believe.
Tim-
No, Tim Reed was from WKRP.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because he was on a
But-
comedy team or something, right?
Right. Yeah, Tim Reed was on a comedy team with Tom Dreesen.
That's right. Yeah.
Tim and Tom.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Wow.
Oh,
Oh,
great.
The Odd Couple. And what do you have, Jeff Jenna?
I have The Odd Couple right. Can you see it? Where am I
Yeah.
at? There it is.
I see it. All right. That's wonderful.
We did
I
well.
can't remember who the other person was on the African American version of The Odd Couple, but it
I
was
will have to Google
guy-
that.
the guy who played on Barney Miller, whose name will not
Barney
come
Miller
to
was
me.
a great show too.
Yeah.
And every show with Abe Vigoda is good. The Godfather, Barney Miller.
Yes. There you go. Full range. I used to watch them back to back. You know,
The Godfather and
Oh,
Barney
no.
Miller.
before binge watching was known, I used to binge watch Vigoda projects. No, anything. Vigoda. Let me just type something here.
Oh my goodness. Yes, Felix Unger.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you remember how it ended? Because we
Lemon.
just watched the last episode. Do you remember how The Odd Couple, the TV
Yeah,
show ended?
I think Felix finally killed Oscar. He finally
Yeah.
just had it. He had it. He killed
That's
him.
great.
He poisoned him with a quiche.
No.
Ron
You-
something.
You know what it was?
Somebody,
Ron Glass.
Ron Glass.
Oh, Ron
Thank you.
Glass.
I
Ron
just
Glass.
looked it up. I didn't know they did that.
Yeah. Who was the other one? Ron Glass and
Demond Wilson.
Oh,
Demond Wilson from Sanford and Son.
Yeah,
Oh,
Sanford
okay.
and
Yeah.
Son.
I didn't even know they did a show, The Odd Couple.
Yep. Yep.
It's wild.
It was pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was good.
that's great.
It was good. And they recently tried to do one with what's his name from Friends? With Matthew Perry and I don't know who else, and it's not good.
Huh.
It's not good.
Didn't work.
All right,
What is
you
that?
guys. What's the final score there?
5-5.
No, I
have a
crushed
tight
you.
score?
Say it, I crushed you.
Jeffrey
It was
won
26.
5-5.
It is a tie
Wow.
score. You're both winners.
That was exciting.
Awesome.
I was nervous about this all week long.
Sure.
Toe-to-toe trivia against Jeffrey Jen. I said, oh,
Well, I'm
gonna
sure.
get
Well, I mean,
round.
you know, poor Jeff had to go and he had to go to the cardiologist today.
Hey,
You know, he's so
Let me just
up.
say this to Tom Ryan. My beautiful wife, Carrie. And why do we always say that? It's my beautiful wife. Of course she's beautiful. I don't have like a second wife who's ugly who
That's
doesn't
right,
work.
yeah,
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
right. Oh, the beautiful one.
My beautiful wife, Carrie, just came in and she kind of walked by and realized I was talking with Tom Ryan and make sure that I
Say
said
hello
to you.
to Carrie. Long time.
She has a Morton Salt shrine in our kitchen that's dedicated
That's great.
to Tom Ryan.
Yeah.
And an Arm & Hammer
Hey, that's right.
shrine.
You know,
Yeah.
a couple of years ago, it's funny how often people send me photos of when they're done. They go, just like, you know, we finished our drum. And then one time about 10 years ago, somebody mailed me the metal chute.
Oh my gosh,
And then
that's
the top of the
hilarious.
Salt thing. It's always cool. I've written
That's
the
awesome.
hotels of that bit like you can't believe. I've run every bit of usability out of that thing or utility, whatever the word is.
Till it, yeah.
Oh, and as
Gotten all
well
out
you
of it.
should, because it's amazing. All right, we're
Thank
going to show everybody who's going to be on next week. Look at
Hey, Chewy. Chewy. Awake.
Chewy.
All right, next week, on next Tuesday show, my co-host will be Amanda Cohen, and Adam Minnick is back. And of course, we have our favorite dietitian in the entire world, Judy Barb, is going to be with us. So make sure you join us next Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Oh,
I love Adam Minnick, by the way. Fantastic guy.
Oh, great.
Funny guy. Nice guy.
Yeah, he's back. He just had a dry bar special, so we're gonna
All right.
make sure we plug that next week. So his dry bar just came out.
Great.
You guys, I don't want it to end. You guys, it's been so much fun. I am just so fortunate to have you both on. You both are just amazing comedians and amazing people, and I'm just very thankful. Thank you for being on Talk is Cheap.
Thank you, Rhonda.
Thank you,
Come
Rhonda.
back. Will you come back?
Will do. Absolutely. Lock
All
it in.
right.
Actually, I don't know if this is the right time to say it, Rhonda, but Tom and I are taking over the show. You've been fired.
Yes.
So I didn't want to break it to you on the air, but
And we're going to charge and we're going to call it Talk is Not Cheap. If you will pay by the minute.
Story of my life. All right, you guys.
Hey, thank you.
Episode
Thank you so much.
133
Thanks.
is officially out. Thanks, everybody.
Good night,
Bye.
everybody. Thanks for listening.
I will hold, I will hold, I will hold. Ain't no man, ain't no woman, ain't no thing, no, there ain't nothing going on. Yeah. Well, I've said a lot of things that don't amount to nothing.